Hey, I'm Arden Kaywin, and welcome to the Pro Singer Success Collective. Today, we're going to be talking about singer mindset secrets. So, after working with thousands of singers and turning more singers into successful, happy pros than I think anyone else in this space, the question that I always ask myself is, what's the X factor? What is it? Like, in other words, what's that one thing that makes the difference between a singer who experiences some success and a singer who achieves just ridiculous, off the charts, like life transforming success? What is the difference? And in one word, it's mindset. And here's why mindset is so crucial, because the right game plan executed from the wrong mindset brings lousy results. But what that means is that what you do is not nearly as important as the emotional energy behind what you do. And that goes for what happens in the moment of singing and performance, as well as all the other things that you do for a successful singing career. And so if your emotional energy is off, anything that you do is simply, it's just not going to be done well, period. Because here's what I want you guys to understand. You have an emotional home. You have this dominant emotional charge that you carry with you throughout the day, every day. And that emotional charge, it colors everything that you do with its own energy. So for example, we all know people whose emotional home is fear. They're always on the lookout. They're watching the news. They're on social media. They're always dwelling on the next, catastrophe. And so if that's your energy, you're going to bring fear to your performances and the decisions that you make about the business of your singing career. You'll bring fear to your auditions and to your marketing. You're going to bring fear to the conversations that you have with potential collaborators, right? All these things are affected by your emotional home. And if it's fear, that's where all these other things are going to be driven from and live from. So in that sense, the way that you do anything is the way that you do everything, because you bring that same emotional energy with you into every situation. And so all the mindset work that we teach our singers and all the mindset strategies that I teach even in this group, they have one real purpose, and that's to change your emotional home. So most people, I gotta be real with you, most people have a negative emotional home, an emotional home that does not serve them. They've been stuck in fear or guilt or shame or anger or unfulfilled desire for so long that they don't even realize it. And so their default position is to feel bad from the moment they wake up until the moment that they go to sleep. And occasionally they will have a peak experience that brings them into a positive state, out of that and into a positive state. But, like maybe, for example, it's Friday and they're looking forward to the weekend or a great vacation or a wedding or it's Christmas morning or something. But before you know it, the event passes and they settle back down into that low vibration, that emotional home of unhappiness, discontent, maybe shame, maybe apathy. And so that's not what I want for you. And I know that that's not what you want for yourself either. What I want for you is to reverse the entire equation so that you spend 99% of your time in high vibrational states of love, of gratitude, of joy, of possibility. And then maybe you take occasional day trips down into negative town. You dip your foot into some shame or you dip your foot into some anger, but that's not where you live. Because what happens is that your voice, guys, it's just a product of your energy. If you watch any of my content, like that is a number one thing that we talk about all the time. Your voice is just a product of your energy. And so, think about sound, right? Sound is just a form of energy, like light, like heat, etc. And so anything that affects your energetic vibration, which is your emotional energy, that's a big thing that affects that, is going to affect your sonic vibration. Let me say that again. Anything that affects your energetic vibration is going to affect your sonic vibration. It can't help it. Those two are inextricably linked. And so, how do you then change your emotional vibration? You do that by changing your emotional home. Well, how do you change your emotional home? There's only one way: practice. You got to practice shifting your emotional home. Anything you practice, you're going to get good at. Just like you practice your breath technique, you practice your resonance, you practice the shape of your vowels, right? Anything you practice, you're going to get good at. And so if you practice procrastinating every day, or if you practice being angry or disappointed or blaming the world for your problems, guess what? You're going to get really good at doing those things. On the other hand, if you practice gratitude, you're going to get really good at feeling content, satisfaction, and happiness. It might be hard at first. I'm not going to say it's easy at the beginning, especially if things are not, going your way right now, but you will develop that skill of happiness, of gratitude, of satisfaction. And if you do it for long enough, you will change your emotional home to the point where being happy, being grateful, being joyful will become your default position in life. And that's really important because the energy from which you sing is born out of the emotional home in which you live. And so here's what I want you to know. Nothing needs to happen for you to be happy. Truly. It's like you've stopped playing that game where you'll tell yourself, well, I'll be happy when. Do you play that game now? I used to play it, so I know. That game where you say, I'll be happy when I get a hit record. I'll be happy when I get married. I'll be happy when I have my first role in a big equity Broadway show. I'll be happy when I have kids, right? Like that is the I'll be happy when game. And you got to stop playing it, right? You've got to choose to practice happiness now. When you do that, two things happen. The first is that you realize really, really quickly that the source of your happiness is inside of you. It's not outside of you. And then you'll start to feel that happiness all the time because you get to cultivate it no matter what is going on in your external reality. And number two, then your body responds. And this has a huge effect on your singing because you're no longer in constant fight or flight, holding in the body, making, forcing, pushing. Instead, you're able to tap into the full potential of your instrument because the energy is flowing and clear. And so here are two practices that have really changed my life. And you can start doing these today to create a really rock solid mindset for the source of your singing and your energy. The first thing is practicing gratitude. And I know that this is like, it's such a fatty thing right now, gratitude practice, but it works. It works. And so every day, a lot of I am do a lot of meditation. I'm a big meditator and I meditate almost every day. So every day after my meditation, when I'm in that quiet space and I've carved out that space, I practice gratitude. And so I do it there because it's relaxing and nobody will bother me. I'm in my meditation space. My family knows that when I meditate, don't bother me for half an hour, right? So I practice gratitude then because I'm already in my own space and I'm already relaxed. And I start by being grateful for what I have right now. So what that looks like is thank you for my beautiful daughter, my amazing partner. Thank you for my amazing singers whose lives I get to change every single day. Thank you for my intelligent, healthy body. Thank you for that my parents are still alive and they get to hang out with me and I love them. Thank you for the amazing house that I live in. Thank you for the warm bed that I get to sleep in, and so on and so on. Okay, so it's like gratitude for what is right now. And you can take it to the granular. You guys, sometimes during COVID, I was like, thank you for my immune system. Thank you for my skin that keeps out germs. Thank you for my eyes that can see around me and enjoy what's here. Silly things like that. And then I take it to the next level. And this is where it actually kind of gets fun. I take it to the next level by being grateful in advance for the things that I want to manifest that aren't here yet. And I give thanks for them as though they are already here. And I'm already experiencing them. So for example, let's say that I wanted a beach house. I would be, thank you for this gorgeous, amazing beach house with all of the privacy in the world and these gorgeous sunsets. And thank you that I get to sit on this porch with my amazing daughter and my amazing partner. And we get to, watch the sunset in such serenity every night. You get it? I call this a future thank you. And gratitude for something in advance of it happening, like it's already here. For every performance that I will ever do, I future thank you it. So let's say I was gonna perform at the Metropolitan Opera and it was a big deal, right? Thank you, thank you, thank you for that amazing standing ovation that I got tonight. That opening night was like insanely good. I sang like a freaking champ. I nailed every high note. Thank you for all of my friends and family who came out and sat in the front row. Thank you for the amazing orchestra that played and the conductor who was so kind and generous with his time and his talent. Thank you for how my body and my technique showed up for me. So you getting this? Okay. I haven't done it at all. I haven't been on stage at the Met in forever. And so it's like, but I feel like I have, because I'm in that high vibrational state. Because you guys, your brain, it doesn't, it has a way of making things feel real that aren't. You guys have all had, I'm going to say this, it's, maybe a little crude, but you guys have all had a sex dream, right? Where you wake up and you're like flush and you're like, maybe, you're sweating or you're like turned on, and it was totally in your head. There was nobody in the bed. You weren't actually like making out with anybody, but your body reacted as though you were. That's how real it was in your mind, right? And so your body is just responding to what your mind is telling it, which is what I tell you all the time, right? And so the future thank yous are setting off that cascade of oxytocin and dopamine and all these good things as you lean into this juicy future thank you as though it were here right now. Your body starts to feel like it's here right now. You don't know the difference, like the sex dream. Okay, so this is so powerful and so important to do gratitude for what is, and then take it to the next level by being grateful in advance for things that you want to create in the future as though you were here right now. And I allow myself to feel the feelings of that, to feel how amazing it would be to sit on that beach with a glass of wine and, my love, and watch the sunset. Feel that joy, that gratitude, as though it were here right now. So when I've done that for about 5 minutes, I'm able to then go out into the world and into my day, into my singing, into my auditions, into whatever I'm doing, into my work with students. And I live as though those already things have happened, because in my mind, they already have right now. So the second practice, guys, is love. It's practicing love. Every day, practice love. And what it does is it keeps you from separating yourself and your energy from those around you. And that's essential as a performer, is to not separate your energy from those around you, but to let that energy of those and that love in. So every day, practice radiating love to everyone around you. Imagine that like pure love is flowing from your heart, from your energy to everyone in your family, in your community, in your town, in your state, in your country, in the world. And as you go through your day, consciously radiate love to everyone you see. And sometimes, I feel like it was somebody who said that, like, that love is when you realize that there's no difference between you and anything else. And so what that means is that you are an expression of that ultimate energy of, call it God, call it the energy of the universe, call it nature, that energy that we are all made of the same thing. And so what that means is that you're an expression of that ultimate love and that energy, and so is everyone else. It's that same, some may call it divine love, that created you and keeps your heart beating and keeps their heart beating and keeps everything else in this world alive, that created it, okay? And so it's like that connection, that love, that, not holding ourselves apart, but letting that love in and connecting. And so you think of all the ways when somebody is like pissing you off and it's really hard to like love that, or think of a situation and people are just driving you crazy, right? Just think of all the ways that those people, they're just like you. Like most of the time, if somebody annoys you, it's just because we see something in them that we don't like in ourselves. And it's reflecting that back to us. And so it can be extremely powerful to just recognize that and be like, wow, they're just like me. So practice connection, practice love. Because here's the bottom line, guys. The bottom line is that anything that you need to do in your singing or your life will be 1,000 times more effective if you do it under the energy of love and gratitude. And so, for example, imagine that you're about to go on a big audition and you're coming to it with the energy of fear, which is probably how you would usually come to it. And you're worried about what the auditioners are going to think. You're worried about your bank account. Like you really need to land this gig or you're not going to make rent, and you're freaking out. And that's all you can think about going into this audition. And so are you going to do a good job like filling that casting director or those auditioners with certainty that you're the one who's going to like bring the house down every single night and bring the audience to their feet if that's the energy that you're coming into that audition with? No, right? What's more likely to happen is that the casting director is going to subconsciously pick up on your fear and he'll say no. And he won't even realize why. He'll just become, uncomfortable, anxious, unconnected. And those people, they don't buy. And so now imagine that you transform that fear into an energy of love, an energy of gratitude and connection. You take the focus off of what they think of you, off your empty bank account, off your need to get the gig, and you say to yourself, you know what? I'm going to serve this person today with everything that I've got. Whether they hire me or not, I'm going to serve this person with an incredible performance, with an incredible experience, because they're another child of the universe just like me, and I want the best for them, period. So now you have zero neediness, zero fear, because it's not about you anymore. It's 100% of your attention being right where it should be, which is sharing this experience, sharing this energy with this other person. When you do that, you are far more likely to land the gig. And so if you have been stuck in your singing career, sure, it might be that you're employing bad technique or following an inefficient strategy. In fact, you probably are, but I'll tell you something. Even if your technique is rock solid, even if your strategy is perfect, you still need to change the emotional energy from which you operate. You need to change your emotional home to take those things to an elite level. And so if that's not happening for you, then start to examine your emotional home. Okay? When you change your emotional home, the actions and the energy which you bring to your performances will change. And when you do that, even a broken strategy will be 100 times more effective. And guess what? You get to be happy and grateful and present while you pursue your goals. So don't live your life from the deferred happiness plan. Don't do the thing and say to yourself, I'll be happy when. Choose happiness right now. You get to choose that. You get to choose your emotional home around anything. I am constantly telling the singers in my program that. It's like a broken record. Choose happiness right now. Choose to practice love and gratitude every day. Do it in the shower where no one will bother you. Take your time. Feel your way into it. Engage your emotions. If you do this every day, you will have a lot more success in your singing. But even more than that, you're going to experience more joy and more happiness than you ever thought possible on the journey there. And that is something that money cannot buy. Now, I also know that there are those of you who are listening to this and saying, oh yeah, well, it's really easy to get in your own way when it comes to the mindset stuff. Like, I don't even know, the things that I'm telling myself that are sabotaging me, right? So these two ideas, these two mindset ideas, while fundamental, are really also just the tip of the iceberg. And that's why we teach the singers in my program really powerful mindset stacking techniques to uncover and to eliminate all the things in your head that are getting in the way of your voice and your performances really standing out and being consistent and powerful. And by the way, this is also what creates the kind of consistency and reliability in your body within your technique. So you're no longer crossing your fingers and hoping that you'll perform to your potential. You know you're going to do that every single time because we've taught you how to get out of your own way. So you don't have to hope anymore. You know, and that mindset builds the kind of sound and confidence and impact that fills stadiums. So if you're listening to this, and you'd like our help and our support to take your singing and your career to an elite level by diving deep into these processes and practices that have helped so many other singers out there succeed at a level that they never thought was possible, then I want you to book a call with me. And on this call, it's a free call. We're going to talk for 45 minutes and we're going to get clear on what's really blocking you from singing in the way and acting on your own behalf in the ways that bring the dream. And we'll start and I'll share the strategy with you that I've used with so many singers that changes the game. And so if you'd like my help to do that, we'll talk about what that looks like. And if not, that's okay too, okay? But what I want to leave you with is this idea that you can deliver in every audition, in every performance you go to. You can have an abundant singing career. You just don't yet have the emotional home to support it. So if you want our help to do that, then book a call with me. This call is for serious singers who are out there hustling and making an income with their music, or singers who are serious about doing that if you are not yet, okay? Don't be a tire kicker. Don't be somebody who just wants to see what this is all about and, I'm not really that serious about my music, but hey, I'll book a free call. Okay, this is for people who are serious about the kinds of goals and kinds of actions they would want to take to get there, to break through what's stopping them from having a really abundant, a really passionate, a really fulfilling singing career that sustains them and gets them paid so that they can do what they love for the rest of their life. Okay, so if that's you and you want some help to create an emotional home that supports that supports the technique that supports that, then book a call with us and we'll talk about if it's right for you. All right, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you next time on the Pro Singer Success Collective. Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning into today's episode. If you want to subscribe, click the link right over there that says subscribe. And if you want to book a breakthrough session with me, which you absolutely should do, then click the link right over here that says book a call to schedule an appointment to speak with us. I'll see you on the next episode.